Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Wolfgang. Now, listen, I have a theory about Deltarune, and I know how most theories about Deltarune go. Usually like 6 hours long, and they're way too thorough, and in some cases they don't even say anything. So that's why I'm making this video, and that's why it's a solid, less than an hour long. Because, as I said, I have a theory about Deltarune. A normal theory about Deltarune, not some bullshit about the piles of Asriel's dust, or how Kane from the Amazing Digital Circuits proves that Woody theory is real, or the Asriel trauma spectrum. No, I have a logic-based theory using fresh evidence from the 2 chapters we just came off. So, maybe it's wrong, but, that's why it's a theory. So with that said, full spoilers for Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 as we get into my theory about Noelle and the prophecy. Alright, let's start. So, we know that Deltarune is going to have an unhappy ending. At least that's what the prophecy says. We see Susie break the glass, revealing the prophecy. We see Rousey avoiding telling us the rest of the prophecy. We see Susie disregarding the prophecy as a bunch of malarkey that can be avoided. Like, this is basically undeniable. However, what exactly happens in the ending? Well, that's where the Noelle part of this theory comes in. Part of my theory is that the ending will involve Noelle getting hurt in some way, maybe dying, maybe some kind of fate worse than death, but this will involve a confrontation with the knight. Now, why do I think that? Noelle is the angel. At least I'm pretty sure. They're my best possible guess for who the angel could be. I mean, they wear angel clothing, there's imagery throughout of them being an angel, they're literally called an angel by multiple characters in chapter 2. I mean, yeah, when you put it that way, it seems pretty obvious, isn't it? I think the most telling line is when an Addison tells Noelle, quote, "Come on, angel, can't get stronger without good equipment," unquote. First off, this directly calls Noelle an angel to her face. Second off, this line talks about getting stronger. Now, why does that matter? Well, I think you can tell where I'm going with this one, but we're gonna let it linger for a little longer. In the prophecy, it says that the heroes will banish the angels' heaven, at least in the short and abridged ending cutoff prophecy that Rousey gives us. So, what the hell does that mean? Well, we know the prophecy will end with some kind of destruction being done to the angel, and we know the knight will play a critical role in the prophecy. So, what if the knight winds up hurting the angel? Or in other words, what if the knight winds up hurting Noelle? See where I'm going with this? Okay, so far we have that the knight is going to hurt Noelle at the end of the game. That makes logical sense, like that's not much of a theory, and it's more of just a logical guess to make. However, here's where things get interesting. Here's where this turns from just a logical guess into an actual theory. Snowgrave. Or maybe the weird route? I mean, it is still the Snowgrave route, because it's still Noelle. Whatever. Look, the fact is, it was in chapter 4, and I got so upset while playing it that I started shaking and sweating at it, so it was done well. So, what happens in Snowgrave? Well, outside of the whole, you, the player, force Chris to sexually assault their childhood best friend, what else happens? Noelle becomes stronger. They become so strong that they're able to kill Spamton Neo in one hit. They become so strong that they can seriously injure Berdly. They become so strong that their spell is simply labeled as fatal. They become so strong that— wait, hold on a second! They injure Berdly. Berdly isn't some other Dark World entity. No, Berdly is a Lightner. Berdly is a real-ass guy who gets sent to the hospital after Noelle Snowgraves him. She's not just getting stronger in the Dark World, she's becoming a force to be reckoned with in the real world. So you know what I think? I think the end of the game will involve the knight hurting Noelle, and I think a weird route Noelle would be strong enough to kill the knight. Wait, strong enough to kill the knight? To kill a real living person, and strong enough to kill the knight whose 2 defining characteristics are their baseball bat and their antlers. Baseball bat and antlers. So Noelle has to kill Des? I mean, we know that Des uses a baseball bat. We know that Des has the shelter code written in her guitar. We know that Des— I mean, she has antlers, like, come on! So it has to be Des, right? And if it's not Des, it's Carol. Like, that's any better. Either way, it means Noelle becomes so strong that she murders her own family member. And not to mention, she only does this because she gets manipulated by the player through Chris. So, that's it. Those are the 2 endings I see for Deltarune. Option 1 is that the knight wins, it kills Noelle, and it blankets the world in darkness. This blanketing darkness means everyone dies and everything is destroyed. Option 2 is that the player forces Chris to sexually assault Noelle so that she can kill a member of her own family. And that's it. Those are the two options the player is given. Now, I could be wrong about a lot of this. I mean, I don't have a ton of evidence that Noelle is the angel. There's nothing specific I found to say that the knight is going to fight the angel, and I'm sure there's some holes I missed in the theory. But that's why I'm not spouting it as if it's some objective truth that everyone has to believe. It's a theory, goddammit. It's an interesting way of analyzing a game, and that's it. Well, thank you for watching. Obviously, this was a very short video. I said everything I thought I needed to about the theory, and nothing else. If you like the theory, let me know. If you don't, let me know also. I'm super open to hearing what anybody thinks about this theory. I think it's cool, obviously, but let me know what you think. Well, bye.